Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Raymond and today we're going to go over how to file a General Excise G45 tax return for the state of Hawaii. And today we're going to be using actual revenue versus the last video I did, which was a zero return. Very simple. This one not so much, but still not too hard either. So let's go ahead and get to the Excel file here where we can pull our revenue and deductions, or one deduction I should say. So here we have the revenue for Oahu, Maui, and Hawaii. This month, Kauai didn't generate any revenue. So first I'm going to go over how to file for one county, and then we're going to jump into it and start filing the actual return, which is for all three counties. For the sake of this example today, I'm going to use my GE number for my company and my company's name. Anytime you have a sublease deduction, you're going to need this information for the other entity or entities involved. Okay, to get started, we'll go back to the sign-in page here and get right into it. As you can see here, we have the G45 and the G49. G49 is the annual. We won't have to do that until just before April 20th. Withholding HW14 and HW3, these are both payroll functions. We won't be going into those either today. So let's jump into G45 here. As you see here, there's the red triangle. That means it's ready to file. And we'll click next on this screen. And as I said before, we will start with just one district, the District of Oahu. We know there's going to be an exemption, so we'll click yes here. And then we'll go next. We didn't have any wholesaling activities for any of our business this month, so we're not going to enter anything into these fields. But if you do have wholesaling items, this is where it'll go. So this is only charged a 0.5% rate versus the 4% or 4.25 to 4.5% depending on which island you're doing business with. All right, so here we go. The income we have today is all rental income. So the example I'm going to use here for Oahu, we're going to use this top line here, which is before the deduction. As you can see here, this is the total after the deduction. So we're going to get that 369,000 and change, and we're going to put it in this field, and then we're going to put the deduction here. Now when I click out of this cell, you're going to see this number here change, and what you're going to see it do is you're going to see it subtract, just like the 295,542 that we see in this cell, the calculation. This is important to note. If you're going to do multiple islands, it will not calculate the same way, and I'm going to show you. So let's go ahead and hit previous, and after I click on these two, it will delete the information I've already entered. So click next. No wholesaling activity as mentioned earlier. Here you will see the three islands are now blank. Now for Maui and the island of Hawaii, it'll be pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and get that information in just because it is simple. Now for Oahu, as I mentioned, there is a difference. So when we go back to Excel here, we want to pull this number. It sounds counterintuitive, and it is, but we're going to pull that number, and then we're going to place it here. This is the post-deduction amount. And you will see why in just a moment as we go through our steps here. Let's go next. And there were no insurance commission earnings because that's not the business we're in here. And then here you'll see the business activity per island. Maui doesn't have any surcharges, so we won't see anything there, but you will see the surcharge amounts here. Next. And again, no wholesaling activity, so there's no wholesaling deductions. And you can only deduct if there are positive amounts in column A here. Otherwise, nothing can really go into column B. Or you can put it there, it'll just be pointless. As you can see here, it actually saved the information from the first time I entered it. So let's go ahead and pull that out because I want to show you from scratch here. What you'll notice here is this number here, it actually doesn't change when you put in the deduction. What'll happen instead of adding the deduction here and it's subtracting from column A to equal column C, what's going to happen is column B will add to column C to equal column A. So column A will change as soon as I click outside of the box here. There you go. Now, from my understanding, the reason they do this is because it's the best way to tell between the islands, but I see down here they've added a new format. This is totally new. If I put in a deduction here, however, as it stands, I'll need to account for this number times 2, 73,000 times 2. It's not quite there yet, however the numbers are true, so we are going to continue here. Alright, so this is a sublease deduction, as I mentioned earlier, which comes from our other rentals line, which is number 14. Also, I've been doing this for a while, so I know to type in 16.5 here for the sublease deduction. Now you'll see this yellow box pop up right here. This is how much the total has to equal. So you may have several deductions, but it all has to equal whatever's in this yellow box, or it won't let you go any further. So let's go ahead and get that number in. Next. All right, and as I said before, for this example, we'll be using my GE number. Let's go back and grab my GE number for Tinkerton here. They actually don't want the dash in here. Let me go ahead and get that out of there. And we'll go ahead and copy this whole number over. You want to have the letters GE and the whole number in there. And then we'll just bring it over here. And then you're going to want the name and DBA name. Tinkerton is technically a DBA, but for this example, I'm just going to put in Tinkerton. There we go. And we're going to click Next. It doesn't ask you the allocation between those entities. So I say entities, right now there's only one for this example, but if I were to say Tinkerton 2 LLC here, it doesn't ask you for any type of allocation between the two entities. So let's go ahead and click Next. And here you will see the tax summary page. This just shows you how much you're going to owe, basically, when you're done filing here. So we're going to click Next. And we're just going to take a look here, make sure the numbers match our revenue totals we have. And at a quick glance, they do. So we're going to continue. We're going to click Next. And this, they're going to ask you if you want to pay. Sometimes you just want to enter it in. For example, if you work for a large corporation or even a small corporation, and you just want to fill out all the information to have a manager approve it, you'll actually just click on No, or you can just go straight to Save Draft here. If you save draft, you can print out a PDF. It'll show you that it is not filed, it is just stored on the PDF. It'll be a big watermark on the PDF. If you want to submit payment, however, you'll just click Yes here. You'll enter your bank account and routing number information and the bank name, and then you'll hit Submit. When you hit Submit, there's actually one more step you want to take before you sign off. For now, I just want to hit Save Draft because I got to go back in and change the lessor deduction from Tinkerton to the actual lessor a little bit later here after the video recording. All right, now you have the printable view here. My company or my client requires that I print it out and show them before I submit it. So that extra step I was telling you that you're going to want to do is you go to the home page, and then you'll click on Submissions. And then right here in this area, it says none have been submitted, but when you actually do submit, it'll look more like this. And you want to make sure it says G45 returned for X amount of dollars and a payment of X amount of dollars. Make sure the and a payment part is there, because if it's not, that means you have only submitted the return. It will show that it's been submitted, and if you're not used to it, it will make you believe that you've submitted it correctly. However, the payment has not been submitted yet, and that's very important because you will still get penalties and fees. So just make sure it says that right here. You may even want to snip it or screenshot it or even do a print page just to make sure to cover your own butt, because you know it's been an issue before, and in the state of Hawaii they're doing a lot better now, but you just want to make sure that you're covered. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much does it. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. If you have any more questions, please feel free to comment below. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. And in the meantime, I am starting up a GET consulting business, a very small business, and would like any ideas you guys might have. So please feel free to leave comments in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching, and aloha.